The Leafs lose a fourth straight game as the temperature begins to rise in Toronto. You're listening to the Locked On Leafs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.
You're Locked On Maple Leafs, your daily podcast on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome into the Locked On Leafs podcast, a daily Maple Leaf-centric podcast hosted by myself, Mike DiStefano, and my co-host, Dave Morassutti. Thank you for making us your daily listen, and thank you for making the Locked On Network the #1 sports podcast network in North America. The Maple Leafs lose their fourth straight game with a 4-3 overtime loss to the LA Kings on home ice, and it didn't look any better tonight, Dave, and it was a shorthanded group. No Matthews, no Tanev, no Stolars. Hildeby got the start, but not a whole lot of encouragement after that one.
No, decent first period, and then that was it, right?
Yeah, they started on time. We asked, hey, let's start on time, but you also got to finish the game too. It's a 60-minute game, not a 20-minute game, fellas.
I don't know how this team thought getting a 2-0 lead, and they can say, okay, we got it now. We're good. Yeah. No need to do any more. And it's that's one period, guys. So 40 minutes, and you've given up leads like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Especially that one against Carolina. I don't know how they have a multi-goal lead and think, okay, we can take our foot off the gas. And that's essentially what I thought they did, because everything they did well in the first period went out the window right after that.
Yeah. Well, expand. What didn't you like tonight?
Details weren't there, right? It's the same thing again. Not good enough defending in front of the net. I don't know how some of the players were saying they defended well in front of the net. I didn't see it. The effort defensively just hasn't been there. There hasn't been, too passive, right? When guys are coming off the rush, the first goal, nobody's pressuring the puck carrier, and he can come in, walk in, and now that's a goal I would like the goalie to save. But you're also just allowing easy entries into the zone, right? It's looking too easy for the opponents right now. The Kings turned up the pressure and they didn't respond, right? It was, couldn't keep the puck in the offensive zone. So they were outshot pretty badly. It's kind of just, it continues. It's continuing this trend that we've been seeing. And it's been tough.
Yeah.
No other way to put it. It's been tough.
And it has. And look, I mean, you don't have Matthews, you don't have Tanev, you're down to your third goaltender, maybe your fourth goalie, depending how you want to play it, on wherever you had Caden Primo in your goalie rankings to start the year. So there's reasons for excuses, but the problem is that they've been playing this way with all those guys in the lineup as well, is kind of the problem. And again, we talked about it going into the game, hey, they need to focus on defending, right? On yesterday's podcast, if you missed it, we went through, the three things that are plaguing the Maple Leafs to this point in the season. And the number one thing was their lack of defense. And tonight, again, they gave up 37 shots on goal. They gave up 32 scoring chances at 5-on-5 to the LA Kings. And giveaways again, credited with 18 giveaways again tonight. It's getting to a point where it's so tiring, and Craig Berube is going to blow a gasket. I mean, he lost it on William Nylander there, gave him obviously a stern talking to, throughout the game, but it's not just him who deserves, the berating. And I don't know why, I get it. Willie's a big boy. He could take it, and he often invites it to, kickstart his game a little bit sometimes. But it's getting awfully too comfortable for some guys out there. You mentioned it, the passengers. I mean, there's got to be more accountability here from the coach, in my opinion. This is 4 games in a row now where it's just been piss poor efforts. You've seen good shifts here and there, but in terms of full games or even full periods, it's very few and far between.
Well, that's it, right? Like you look at the game here, and you look at the players who are. I mean, even the advanced stats: Morgan Rielly, Jake McCabe, Brandon Carlo, Matthew Nyes to a degree. Like, these are players that you are counting on. You're talking about not having Austin Matthews out. You still have these players, right? And those players are not delivering. So you can and look, this is where I get frustrated. You can single out William Nylander for what he did on that second goal because that was atrocious effort defending. Absolutely embarrassing. But are we going to really start the cycle of putting it on a player rather than look at the team and a group of players that are not playing up the stuff? They're making an NHL level paycheck and not delivering an NHL level effort. Like, again, it's this cycle that keeps happening with this team. And I can understand fans are pissed off, so they're looking at people to show their frustrations to. I get that. But it's a team problem right now. It is not an individual problem, right? You know, Nylander came out this morning and he says, you know, it'd be worse if we weren't scoring right now because scoring is harder to do than defending. Well, it doesn't. I mean, it also makes it look like when you defend like that's so tough because you're not capable of putting in the effort that's needed. So he didn't like how he responded to those words this morning because he didn't, you know, it's easy to just take a guy out of the play, tie up his stick, get to the loose puck, win a puck battle.
Yeah.
Those are just things that now we can pour it on him all we want. Sure. But what it does for me, in my opinion, is it lets everybody kind of off the hook, as you said.
Oh, it's not just Willie, man. It is everybody. Like you mentioned it. Whether we're talking about Morgan Rielly, like Brandon Carlo has been so brutal this year. Yeah. I mean, that trade is looking worse and worse by the day, and he looks so slow too. Like he looks like he's getting beat to every single loose puck. Yeah. He just doesn't have the wheels to play like a modern day age. I don't know what happened from last year to this year, but it has not looked good since he got here. This season, he was outshot 10-3 when on the ice tonight out there. A 25% expected goal share in the Maple Leafs' favor when he was out there on the ice. So it really was not a good night for him at all. Nicolas Roy, too. Like, here's a super concerning stat from tonight. While Nicolas Roy was on the ice, the Maple Leafs were outshot 12-1. 12-1. He's supposed to be a shutdown center. He was supposed to be a guy who plays within the structure and can shut things down, kill plays, and then get the puck going the other way. He's not doing that either, right? Nope. Like, he's not doing that at all. So it's not just Willie, man. Like, you can go up and down realistically outside of probably John Tavares tonight. Like,
and Oliver again.
Yeah, OEL had himself a decent game again, made a couple plays. Outside of those two guys, like I'm not sure anyone really can be proud of their effort tonight. It was, again, just a brutal night for the Maple Leafs, and it's becoming far too common on a game-in, game-out basis. This is 4 straight games here, and they're coming out saying, like, yeah, like it's not an effort thing. We're working hard. We're just not executing. It's like how could you possibly not execute 4 games in a row? You know what you have to do? Are you incapable of doing it? Because if you are, then we need to fix it. Like we need to get some new players in here who can, do it. Or you got to strip it down. Maybe you got to bring in a new coach with a new system then that caters more to the players, of what they're like. It's a lot easier to change one coach than it is to change out an entire team. Like the Leafs are in a weird situation, man. Like it really is a strange situation where they're supposed to be good, supposed to be competitive. They expected to take another step after, winning the division last year. They built the team around an identity that's supposed to play the way the coach wants them to play. And it's just not working for whatever reason. I do not quite understand why the buy-in has not been there from the group and why they're being caved in and shelled night in, night out. They're not getting a save from their goalie. They're turning pucks over left, right, and center. They're not winning any puck battles. They're playing soft in front of the net. No one's going to the net outside of Nyes and Tavares. It's really perplexing what we've seen from this Maple Leafs team. The give a bleep meter seems to be very low on a nightly basis, and you saw it again tonight. It's getting to be really tiresome, and apathy soon will set in with this Leaf squad, man. Apathy sets in quick when it comes to this.
We talked about it the other day, how unpopular this team is because people don't feel that this team is putting in the care and the effort. Like to me, I look at the bottom six. What has the bottom six done well all season? Not really anything. No.
And you can't say, well, they're missing Scott. Scott Laughton should not be the glue.
No,
he should not be the glue. A good team should be able to get by without Scott Laughton. You know what I mean? He should not be the reason why you're struggling, because that guy's not in the lineup killing penalties, or he's not in the lineup as the 3C or the 4C, and everyone's slotting in perfectly. That's just a flawed team if that guy, holds so much value. And again, tonight there's also no Matthews, which is also big, although he has not been playing very well himself as of late as well. But tonight in particular, without him, it's really, really thin down the middle. And thin overall. And you saw it tonight. They got outworked, got beat, and they end up losing the game. They picked up a point. I think they were lucky to pick up a point, to be honest with you. I wouldn't say they deserved it. Yeah, I don't think they deserved it based off of their play, but they got a point. It broke the regulation loss streak, but still 4 losses in a row, man. And I don't know, something's got to change. A flip needs to be switched. And what's upsetting is I feel like tonight was the type of game, and it felt like through the first 20 minutes, it was going to be that style of game where their back's up against the wall. Everyone's doubting them. It seems like when the confidence in the team from the fan base is at the lowest is usually when that team does shine and that team does finally, show pushback. You didn't really see it tonight. And that to me is also a big concern. And maybe that is more showing than anything that things just aren't going well with this club right now. And something has to change drastically, maybe, for this thing to get going in the right direction, because it just continues to slip away. I mean, we're 18 games into the season. Next week will be a quarter way into the year. We're going to be at American Thanksgiving within 2 weeks from now. And that's the real barometer of who you are as a club. If the Maple Leafs are still a 500 team by then, that's a scary thing to think about. We talked about it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe. If this team's still 500 by American Thanksgiving, should Berube be on the hot seat? We kind of thought, yeah, it's a little early for that talk. Maybe if he's there. We're only 2 weeks away from that now, and they're 8-2. They have more losses than wins to this point, realistically. So it's not a good spot where the Maple Leafs have found themselves to this point. And another upsetting loss here against the Kings, and doesn't get much easier. They've got the Blackhawks that they got to now go out on the road, where they haven't won many games, where they 1-4 on the road this year. They haven't won many games on the road. Now they got to go into Chicago and play a red hot Connor Bedard. Oof, it is tough sledding for the Maple Leafs right now. Okay, let's come back. Let's get to the good, the bad, the ugly from tonight's game. There is an update on David Kämpf and his status with the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll get into that whole situation and, of course, tee up this weekend's matchup against Bedsy and the Blackhawks. That's all coming up next to the Locked On Leafs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.
Today's show is brought to you by Monarch, let's be honest, most of us can't even name all our financial accounts, let alone what they're worth. Between 401ks, savings, and investments, it's easy to lose track, and that can mean leaving money on the table. That's why I started using Monarch. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. It's helped me keep things organized. It's easy to lose track when you have all these different accounts, credit cards, all these, different apps you have to go and check. So much more convenient to do it all in one app. And look, if you're reviewing finances with your partner, you can see shared goals and make better financial decisions together. Monarch's visual dashboards and smart tools make it so much easier to understand where your money is going and how to make it work harder for you. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNHL at monarch.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarch.com, code LOCKEDONNHL for half off your first year. Today's show is also brought to you by Doer. And look, I'm excited to try out these new jeans I've heard so much about at Doer. And look, they're supposed to be life-changing. You've been trying to, find the pants that can look good, but also have the performance with it. And that's what Doer jeans brings. They have 5 times the stretch of traditional denim. They're antibacterial, meaning your jeans stay fresh longer, so you can wear them more and wash them less. They're also made with Cool Max that regulates your body temperature and wicks moisture. It keeps you cool and comfortable as temperatures change. And Doer jeans feel stretchy without looking stretchy. And that's big. It's like you're wearing your favorite pair of synthetic joggers, but look like you're dressed to go out on the town. And that's the great thing. Doer combines classic jean wear style with the kind of comfort and performance you get from athletic wear. It's the best of both worlds, designed to look great and stay comfortable all day, no matter what you're doing. And Doer are pioneers of blending technical innovation with everyday clothing. They invented the original performance denim. And simply put, Doer makes the world's most comfortable pants without having to sacrifice style. Trust me, once you try them, they'll be your go-to. And you can check out Doer here in Toronto. For those of you in Toronto, it's at 44 Ossington Avenue. Pick up a pair for yourself or as an amazing holiday gift. Mention our promo code LOCKEDONTORONTO in store to get 15% off your first order, or check them out online, doer.ca/LockedOnToronto for 15% off. That's doer.ca/LockedOnToronto to get your new pair of jeans.
Welcome back into the Locked On Leafs podcast. Mike DiStefano, Dave Morassutti with you as we are each and every weekday, Monday through Friday, with brand new episodes of the podcast, which you can find wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and get your daily dose of Maple Leafs content. The Maple Leafs with a 4-3 loss to the LA Kings. That's the 4th loss in a row. They picked up just 1 point in their last 4 games and are now among the bottom. They're what, like 25th or something like that in the league? Last I checked, they were 24th, but after tonight, they might be even tumbling even further down the standings.
I haven't looked at the standings. There's just no point.
I'm checking right now. 25th. Yeah, 25th in the NHL. And the teams above them, holy smokes. So they're 25th right now with 18 points in 18 games. And they're tied with the Lightning, the Islanders, and the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights have 3 games in hand. The Islanders have 2 games in hand. And the Lightning have 2 games in hand. So the Leafs have played 2 or 3 more games than all those teams, and still, sitting there with the same amount of points as a 500 team so far on the season, and it's just has not looked good for them. All right, let's get to the good, the bad, the ugly here from the 4-3 OT loss. What was good, Dave? What'd you like about tonight's game?
John Tavares.
Yeah,
this guy is earning his paycheck. And some, like let's be honest, it's the best contract based on what you're getting out of him.
On the Leafs, best contract on the Leafs by far.
Yeah, like there's nobody on this team right now has a better deal than John Tavares, and nobody on this Leafs team right now is backing up what he is saying each and every game. Like, he is one of the few players on this team that's a plus player.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all, people are talking about, when's the decline going to happen? 35 years old, and he's having a great season, playing the last 2 games with Austin Matthews playing over 20 minutes a night. He was +2 in this game. He's answering the bell. And again, I think people, maybe he'll slow down a little bit, and that's kind of sometimes it happens to Tavares where he'll go on a bit of a cold spell. We hope it doesn't. I think he has truly understood that he needs to step up his game, and it's so disappointing because nobody else is following his lead right now.
No, and it's perplexing as to why that is the case. But you talk about, the Maple Leafs were outshot. Was it 37-15 tonight? 37-15. He was only a -1 shot differential when he was on the ice. So they were outshot 8-7, which means of the 15 shots that the Maple Leafs had tonight, he was on the ice for 7 of them and only gave up 8 himself, and led the Leafs with a 58% expected goal share tonight. So John Tavares, and that's obviously to go along with the 2 goals. And it's his net front presence, man. That's exactly what Berube wants guys to do. Go to the net, fight for a rebound, win a puck battle, go to the net and box someone out and bang at a it's not that difficult. It takes a willingness to do, but it is not that difficult to actually accomplish that goal. And Tavares is doing that in spades, and he's having a great season. And again, a lone bright spot once again here tonight for the Maple Leafs. The bad, Dave. What was the bad?
The bad, I'll say the effort. The effort on the second goal. Just thought it was not great, right, from Willie. And it's that type of goal that gets you thinking, here we go again. You're up 2-0, and that lead just poof, done.
Yep.
Now they did again go up 3-2, but with the way that the Kings were playing, it's like, when's the shoe going to drop? And that's again, you little details defensively, not only just the Willie play, but defending better in front of your net. It's not there. It wasn't there on that play. So that goal kind of, I felt like, took the wind out of their sails, and they just weren't able to recover from it.
There's no urgency. I'm watching back the play right now, and there's just no urgency. Nylander, you got to close on Fiala. And not only is there no urgency to get to the guy up at the point, but he's able to shoot it and get his own rebound because he's the only one following the play because everyone else is standing around puck watching. And then he gets his own rebound, takes a shot, gets his own rebound again. It's unbelievable that Fiala was actually able to make this play work. You know what I mean? No one, this should not have. Gosh, it's so annoying that this is the way that worked out. Nicolas Roy on the ice, Simon Benoit on the ice. A lot of these kind of passenger players,
defensively reliable player.
Yeah, right. And just. They're not, man. They're just watching the play happen, watching it unfold, and the Kings are pouncing on the puck, and that's why they end up scoring. That was just a bad play overall. Bad defending, defensive zone coverage, lack of urgency to close in on a guy, try and force a turnover. When you watch good teams play, that's what they're doing, right? Someone has the puck up at the point. They are all over them. They're smothering them. They're forcing a turnover and then getting the puck moved up the other way. These guys are just, it's a country club. They're just out there skating alongside them. Maybe they might just, stick a stick out, just, I don't know, like a little foot, but they're not actually making any difficulty in gaining the zone or not allowing LA to move the puck around freely. It's just so easy right now to score and to make plays and move the puck around in the offensive end when you're playing the Toronto Maple Leafs. Terrible. And then the puck protection, my ugly. Again, 18 turnovers. What are we doing here? I thought that would have been at least okay, we could lose 4-0 tonight, but if we can't turn the puck over, that would have been, what my message to the team would have been. I don't care if we don't score a goal, but I don't want to get scored on, and I don't want pucks to end up in the back of the net because I gave the other team the puck.
Yeah.
And it happened again tonight. Just unable to make the easy play, the right play, and they're turning pucks over and they're getting screwed. They're getting beat for it, and it just continues to haunt them all season long.
Yeah, like my ugly is veterans not looking the part. Nicolas Waugh,
yeah,
brutal.
Yeah,
brutal. He should see a reduction in. Well, the problem is you can't even reduce his role right now because Austin Matthews is out. Like, there's no one you can.
Yeah, no Matthews, no Lawton. It's like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
You call up Quillen, right? Like, I guess you're gonna play.
You think Craig Berube is gonna trust Jacob Quillen to play more minutes than
exactly.
Exactly. Like, not happening. Jake McCabe is supposed to be one of the more important blue liners. Steady presence.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing steady about his play right now.
Nope.
And Riley, Carlo, they should stop playing them together. It just gets to the point. Shuffle your blue line because right now the pairings not working.
No,
nothing on that blue line is working.
No,
and really haven't seen. Have you seen a big shakeup on that blue line?
Nothing not any sustain. Like, there's been periods, you
play Jake McCabe and Morgan Riley together, and it's like they look bad. So he's like, okay, we're not doing that again.
Yeah, but tonight again, you look at Brandon Carlo, Morgan Riley at 5-on-5. They played almost 14 minutes together, right? Like they stuck together. Carlo, he played 13:43 with Morgan Riley. The next defenseman he happened to play the most with was Connor Mermis at $1.25, OEL at $1.22, and that's just being caught out, before the other guy can get off the ice. You know what I mean? Like, and you look at their minutes. Carlo and Morgan Riley together, dude. The shot share, like the Corsi shot share, was 24-4. 24 shot attempts against, just 4 for the Maple Leafs when those two were out on the ice. They were outshot 10-2, and they had an expected goal percentage of 11% expected goal share with those two out on the ice. They were outchanced 11-3 and gave up 4 high danger chances themselves. Just a brutal showing, an absolutely brutal showing from those two guys, Carlo and Riley. Yeah, like going forward against Bedard and the Blackhawks, I don't want to see those two together. I want to see some shuffling. Like, let's get something else
Riley and Jake McCabe for a little bit.
Yeah,
do that at least.
Flip McCabe to the right. Like, they got to flip McCabe to the right until Tanev comes back. Like, that's what they got to do.
OEL Riley pairing. You do those two together.
Yeah, like I guess OEL seems to have a little bit of a give a bleep meter right now. Yeah. So sure, give him some extra minutes. I think he deserves them, I guess. But
he's one of the few defensemen I can trust right now.
You're right. You're right.
He's able to make a breakup pass. He is trying to do things. Look at the second goal. That was all OEL.
Yeah.
That was all effort by him. Now McMahon also got the turnover, but took a shot, okay. Collected his own rebound. He shot it from almost the blue line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, you talk about give a bleep. That's a guy who gives a bleep. He scored in the last game against Boston. Like, this is a player that, again, this is what's annoying me. You have a player like him leading by example, and nobody's following it. It's like, all right, OEL's got it. We'll let him do his thing. Support him. Do it too.
Yeah.
He's like one of your oldest defensemen on the team. It's not that difficult. Like, there's what he's doing isn't rocket science.
Well, I agree, buddy.
Team it is.
I know. It's becoming really, really annoying to have to watch and cover this team on a nightly basis and complain about the same stuff. It's the same.
Aren't you so glad you're on a cruise right now and you got a break from this friggin' team?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I hope when I come back, they've figured it out. Like, I hope next week they can figure some things out. And because they're going out on the road. Like, they got Chicago, And then what's the rest of the schedule look like next week? Chicago. No, and then they're back home. They're hosting the Blues and then the Blue Jackets, and then they go out on the road for a couple of games. Montreal, Blue Jackets, and Washington. So
and actually it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game road trip.
Their first actual road trip of the season. That's the thing too. Like, it's been such a soft schedule for this team early in the year. Like, between opponents and home schedule, like no travel, they have had a cupcake schedule.
And maybe that's the problem too. Maybe it's been a little too cozy for them. Get them on the road. You know, sometimes they say when you're on the road, it brings the group together more. I've heard that one before. Well, hasn't yet, because they're even worse on the road.
1-4.
Even or not.
1-4 on the road. 1-4 on the road, and they got to go back out onto the road and take on Bedard and the Blackhawks this weekend. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll preview the game and get to the David Kämpf news as well. That's next on the Locked On Leafs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Drip Drop. When I'm hydrated, everything just works better. My focus, my energy, mood, even my skin. That's why I've been using Drip Drop. It's doctor-developed hydration that keeps me running at full power no matter what my day looks like. Drip Drop isn't your average sports drink. It delivers 3 times the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading brands. Using a science-backed formula trusted by medical professionals, firefighters, and over 90% of top college and pro teams. I like using Drip Drop as part of my daily routine. I mix up a packet in the morning before I leave for work or during that midday slump. Hydration has become non-negotiable for me. Drip Drop helps me feel sharper, calmer, and honestly, just better overall. Right now, Drip Drop is offering podcast listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNHL. That's dripdrop.com, promo code LOCKEDONNHL for 20% off. Stock up now before the heat hits hard and keep your body and mind performing at their best with Drip Drop. Hockey season is officially here. Nothing beats being in the arena for those opening games, but let's be real, getting tickets can be a total headache between waiting in queue, surprise fees, and price that jump right before checkout. It's easy to get frustrated when all you want to do is cheer on your favorite team. That's where Game Time comes in, the app that gives fans the advantage. It's your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NHL tickets fast, easy, and stress-free. I've recently used Game Time to grab some seats to a concert, and I couldn't have been happier. It was so simple, and what I love most is you can see exactly what you're going to pay. No hidden fees at checkout, and you can see exactly what your view is going to look like before you buy your ticket with their in-app seat view feature. And the zone deals, they're a game changer. You pick the section, Game Time picks the seats, and you save big. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Welcome back into the Locked On Leafs podcast. Mike DiStefano, Dave Morassutti with you as always. And Dave, there was a update to the David Kämpf drama. Last week, there was he was suspended, I guess, by the team, and there was no timeline for it. Just kind of what's the word? Not unconditional, indefinite. That was it. Yes,
He was
suspended indefinitely for breach of team conduct. I guess he had left the team, didn't want to report to the AHL Marlies, and
like, hasta la vista.
Yeah, so he took off essentially. So that allowed the Maple Leafs, I guess, to I guess get out of this contract somehow. And today, David Kämpf was placed on unconditional waivers by the Toronto Maple Leafs for purpose of a buyout. So as of tomorrow, the Maple Leafs, if no one claims David Kämpf off waivers, which I don't anticipate anyone taking him off waivers because they could have done that or traded for him long ago. Yep. He will become a free agent. And the Maple Leafs get out of his contract completely. He's just leaving money on the table to get out of the deal, and he'll be free to sign elsewhere. This turned out to be a pretty big win for the Maple Leafs in when all said and done here, Dave, didn't it?
And as Elliot Friedman also reported, he didn't have to return any of the signing bonus.
Mm-hmm.
That could be disputed, right? The team could push. You know what? Keep the signing bonus. Get out of here. Like,
yeah.
And it's funny because some people are like, oh, with the Leafs having a crisis and not having center depth, they're getting rid of David Kämpf. You think David Kämpf is going to really help this team right now? Because he wasn't really last year.
Yeah, I will say, like, for a team that's struggling to defend, I am surprised they never did kind of give him at least a look to see, like, when Scott Lawton got injured, like, just to give it a look. Like, he played 4C for the last, 3-4 years here for the Maple Leafs. I mean, could have given it a look, right? He's a guy who's been responsible defensively. He's killed penalties for this team. I guess it just goes to show how much, like, Craig Berube just doesn't trust him, doesn't want him on his roster. Like, that's kind of what that tells me, where he was needed. He's somewhat needed, I guess. And they're like, thanks, but no thanks. And it ultimately led to them splitting and Kämpf's leaving money on the table. And the Leafs are getting out of that contract. So, they saved, was it $2.4 million against the cap next year? And technically, they also will save that money this year against the cap as well. So they pick up some more cap space from this year and last year.
And David Kämpf is off the books too.
Yeah, and a contract spot as well. So it really did work out for Toronto when all said and done here. You expect for a team to give him a shot to get back into the NHL?
It'd be very surprised if I see David Kämpf get a maybe he signs a deal.
Well, go ahead, sorry.
Maybe he signs a deal and a team gives him a chance as a 4C.
Mm-hmm.
It might have to be like he signs with an AHL deal and then works his way up to an NHL deal. Like, it could be one of those as well.
Yeah, I don't know if he does that. I don't know if that's kind of how it plays out for him. There's a probability where if he's accepting going on unconditional waivers for a buyout and giving up all that money, he might have an inkling that there's a team that's willing to give him some sort of deal. It's not going to be the same, $2.4 million, but I don't think he would give up that guaranteed money for another AHL deal. Like, the issue was he was in the American Hockey League, which he didn't want to be there.
No.
So I would think that he's doing this in one of two things. Either he's going to probably bolt and go back overseas, which is a possibility, go continue his pro hockey there. Or there's a team that says, well, I don't like him at 2.4. That doesn't necessarily jive with our cap, especially for next year. But if he becomes all of a sudden $1 million player or a $1.5 million player or a league minimum player, different story. So I think there's still a chance that Kämpf on like a league min deal could end up continuing to play in the NHL here. But we'll see. That's a story that we'll obviously continue to cover as it kind of plays out. All right, really quickly, Dave. The Leafs going out on the road this weekend. They got the Chicago Blackhawks tomorrow. And, dude, the Blackhawks team, much better than they've been the last couple of years. Like, the breakout for Connor Bedard is here. He has arrived as a top-tier talent in the NHL. Was he at 25 points here? He is going to be our locked-on player to watch for the Chicago Blackhawks. So I'm excited to see what the Chicago Blackhawks team can do. They've surprised me to this point this year, 8-5-4. They're in a playoff spot in the Western Conference, and Connor Bedard playing at a very, very high level.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's funny because people are like, oh, is he in the conversation now to make Team Canada? It's like, sorry? Like, this guy should be a shoo-in. He should be a
shoo-in. I don't know if he's a shoo-in, but he's definitely in the mix.
I think he's put himself in a really good position. Him and Celebrini, like...
Yeah, I would have Celebrini over him, though.
That's fair. That's very fair. Like, I think Bedard, I mean, we've seen it before. Like, there were a lot of people who were down on him last year.
Yeah.
And it's like, we've seen things like this happen before. Nathan MacKinnon, he's kind of being used as that example. Nathan MacKinnon was not Nathan McKinnon when he first started in the NHL. It took him a little bit of time to get there. And like the Chicago Blackhawks were terrible. Like they're
still terrible. That's the thing. Like it's not like they added talent around him this offseason.
No.
He's just, taking his game up a notch.
He's taking a little more ownership of his game, of what he needs to do himself, right? He's showing that confidence that he clearly didn't have when he started in the league.
Well, and it seems like he's rising the talent around him in the way that like McDavid has done and Crosby has done and Celebrini seemingly is doing out in Ottawa, that Leo Carlson is doing out in Anaheim, another young player who's, getting off to an unbelievable start. Bedard is really taking control, and it's not going to be an easy win. It's not going to be an easy win, that's for sure. So the Leafs got to. I
do wonder if Joseph Woll gets back in this game, because there is talks that maybe he gets back by Saturday. Like that could be.
Yeah. So he played. He played half the game over the weekend, and then he played the game Wednesday afternoon, I think it was, against Grand Rapids. He played the full game against Grand Rapids, which did it go to overtime? I think it went to overtime. They lost 3-2 in OT. Mm-hmm. So is 2 games enough before he gets back to the NHL? I don't know.
It would be very tough. It'd be very tough to just throw him into this fire right now, but you're also putting like Dennis Hildeby is doing his best right now.
Mm.
And I just wonder if I'm not saying just to bring up Joseph Woll just to boost the morale of the team.
Do we have any idea the severity of the Stolarz injury? Like,
it was supposed to be day to day, and then I guess maybe they just decided let's not have him dress or anything. I think it'll be a big indication if he's on the ice Saturday. He could get back into it on Saturday. Now, if you find that Anthony Stolarz is good and able to go, then you can leave Joseph Woll for another game. This, I think, is more so dependent a little bit also on Anthony Stolarz too, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So we'll see what the Leafs have in store here against the Blackhawks. All right, that's going to do it for us here today on the podcast. I thank you all for listening and supporting the show. You could subscribe to the Locked On Leafs podcast on all platforms and receive daily Leafs content. Follow myself on Twitter at Mickey_Canuck. Follow Dave at D_Morassutti, and follow the show as well at Locked On Leafs. We'll be back with another episode for you guys on Monday. Well, you'll be back on Monday. I'm off next week. I'll return the following Monday. So hopefully the Leafers can get their act together between now and then. But Dave and I are going to do a good job. So Dave will be back with you guys on Monday. Enjoy the game this weekend. Until then, keep it locked right here on Locked On Leafs.